Coach was talking a little bit about how after those first 2-3 drives and the pick and some batted passes, you stayed pretty composed and driven on the sideline. I'm just curious how you kept yourself that way, what your mindset was to go out there after those.
I mean, I'm just confident in, not only my abilities, but the guys that I have around me. I mean, when you think about it, when I think back at it, I mean, I've been through everything. I've won a state championship in high school, which is nice. I've gone in. I've done scout. I have to sit there and wait my turn. I've worked. Started as a redshirt freshman, got benched, experienced the low of that, came back, fought, had a pretty good year. I mean, season injury, bounced back, and to be able to, play this season, I'm grateful for it all. And I think through all this and through my journey, God has really shown me who I am as a person, who He's called me to be. And when tough times happens, there's no need to flinch. I mean, those guys, they had my back. They were all dapping me up, showing me love. So, the least I could do is bounce back for my team.
And I know you've had Coach Kennedy on the sideline before. I'm just wondering what that adjustment was kind of like for the offense today amid some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was some technical difficulties, but it was nice to have the old man down there, He's not too bad, but just got to make sure, when you're out there, you watch for him when you run off the sideline. One of those hits, I don't know if he's getting back up.
You have that early interception, but I think it's like 3 or 4 plays later, DJ Barksdale gets it back for you guys. How much does it help knowing that the defense has your backs, maybe as much as, the wide receivers and the running backs beside you?
I mean, it's just complimentary football. I have the utmost confidence in those guys, and just to know that as a quarterback, you can go out there and make a mistake, maybe not score on a drive, but on third down, you better stand up and get your helmet on and get your mind right because you're going to go out there on the field. I mean, it's amazing. Defense wins championships, and I think that this defense has shown it this year.
And then, obviously, you were the quarterback last year when this team went down to Boone and had the performance that happened. But to have this today and make the kind of statement that you did, how much does this just kind of, give you guys a little bit of a extra pep in your step and confidence moving forward?
Yeah, we watched the video of them throwing snowballs at us, and that was the point of emphasis. We started the game 17-0 again this year. So I mean, the message on the sideline was that's not enough. They had a price to be paid. Midfield before the game, want to spit and stomp on the logo. So yeah, I think they felt that one.
How have you seen Jaylon kind of improve or become more comfortable in this offense over the last few weeks, and just what has it meant for you guys to have that?
Yeah, I mean, it's meant the world. When I talked to Dave, he said, 11 different people had a reception today. So that just speaks to the depth that we have around us, and just everybody's been responsible and been on top of and been on their A game and been where they're supposed to be. And I think that's kind of why we've seen the offensive explosion that we've had, is because the consistency play in, play out.
Speaking of offensive explosion, you guys were 9 of 9 in the red area today. Can you just speak on what's allowed you guys to have that success, not only today, but I feel like you guys have been good all year really in the red area this year?
It's just a mentality when you get down there, just that this has to end in 6 points. I mean, the defense holding them to under 100 yards in the first half and pretty much for most of the game, that has to end in 6 points so that they can continue to have that confidence to go out there, pin their ears back, and fly around. So it's really just a mentality when you get down there, just focusing on your 111th and doing it just a little bit better.
I know you just said you shared your journey to start off, but there are some players on this team that have been, maybe lower on the depth chart, or a guy like Matt who came over and is, behind you this year, gets to play in the second half. What's it like from your perspective to have so many, talented players throughout the depth chart?
And I mean, like I've talked about with all these guys that make, great plays, they're even better people. And that's just the reoccurring thing that you see on this team. Selfless people who work hard and really care for the guy to the left and to the right of you. And when you have that happen, the spotlight's going to shine on you, and, the earth has a funny way of spinning. And I think you see guys continue to make plays, and it's going to continue to be like that.
I know Hayden kind of hinted at those kind of players, but to see Joby today have 105 yards rushing, I think average 13.1 per carry and 3 touchdowns. What's it like to see that from a player who's
that's a day. That's a day, and I mean, it's next man up mentality, and I think you see that throughout the whole running back room. Joby stepped up to the plate for sure. Got some tough yards down at the goal line, and then was able to break one. So, I mean, just to speak about it, he's been somebody who's cheered on Fuller and Wayne as they've continued their tangent, and just for him to come in, being rewarded for how he's been acting off the field.
With only 2 games left, how do you kind of allow yourself to stay even keeled and you can feel kind of eager? Rankings start to fly out and stuff like that. How do you kind of keep yourself even keeled?
Focus on the task at hand. Do your job, play in, play out. Focus on what's up next, which is Washington State for us, and then after that is Coastal Carolina. So the best thing you could do in this type of situation is be where your feet are and to be overly critical of yourself so that you don't make mistakes.
Is there anything you learned about being part of that 2023 team? As you kind of can maybe tell your teammates at the end of the season this year when it comes to just finishing out the year in the G5 when it's stuff like this.
What was that? That was Texas. Was that 2020 or talking about last year?
2020, just the last year.
Oh. I mean, yeah. I mean, even last year, we go down to App State, we win that game, then we come back here and we play Marshall, and that's for the Sun Belt, a chance to go to the Sun Belt title. So, I mean, the guys, they understand it. They're all intrinsically motivated. They care, and we all want to end this the same way. So I think with that, you don't really have to say much. You feel the environment, and you feel it in practice, the energy, the guys pushing each other, and the coaches aren't going to let up, and neither are we.
There were a lot of good things that happened in this game, but one thing Coach Chesney mentioned, he was embarrassed that you took a delay of game and kicked the field goal, and he mentioned everybody was on his case about that. What was the player reaction when that came down?
I know we wish we had that one back for sure. I mean, I was thinking about tapping Greenberg, telling him to snap it, but at that point they had about, I don't know, less than 100. I know it was less than 100 yards. There's no shot they were driving 90 yards on us. So you live and you learn. This is everybody's first time living on this earth. So
How did it feel to just kind of get the football as much as you did and be able to show what you're capable of?
I mean, it really just shows about, the opportunity that comes my way. I'm going to take advantage of it regardless. Regardless of what was happening, like throughout the season, I'm going to always be ready when my time comes. And, tonight was the night. Ches, always tells you that you're one play away from getting on the field. So, again, just like knowing my preparation, knowing that I'm doing whatever I need to do, I'm always ready.
I know you were on this roster last year when you guys had a pretty tough loss to App State down in Boone. How did it feel to even just have this kind of performance against a team that had you guys last year?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from last year's team to this year, like we're way better this year. I feel like we're way more connected. We know our abilities, both offensively, defensively, special teams. Just all across the board. Just knowing that, every field that we step on, it's our field. And just being able to dominate every week is a blessing to be part of.
How much do you feel playing in a room with guys like Wayne, Jordan, GP has kind of helped you improve?
Yeah, being with them has been a blessing. This is by far the most talented running back group I've ever been a part of. We push each other every week as far as reading our keys and just going back in the film room and just seeing what we need to get better at. We put kind of like you said, we push each other every day. To be the best, and it comes out into stuff like this. So,
how much of what you were seeing out of App's defense today was similar to what you saw during prep? What did you see that allowed you guys to do what you did on the ground?
I mean, it was pretty familiar. Just being able to see how their fronts move pre-snap, how their DBs how their safeties rotate, how their linebackers kind of boss over. Like that was what we saw on film was exactly what we saw, tonight, and being able to know that we prepped for that, and obviously the result came out the way it did.
Job, I kind of wanted to ask you, just in today's day of age, and I know you always want to bet on yourself as a player to work your way up the depth chart, but just in today's day of age, when you can probably hit the portal and start for a lot of other teams in the FBS, maybe in the FCS. What is it about this program that allows you to stay with the team, maybe knowing that you may not be as high on the running back depth chart?
Yeah, honestly, just being able to be a part of the best running back group, the best team really in the country. For me personally, it was always about opportunity. It was never about the outside stuff. Just being able to know if and when my time comes, that I'm gonna dominate my role in whatever it is. Yeah.
And about Dean Kennedy and Christmas running scheme, is there a variable to it that just makes it so dominant? What is it different compared to other offenses you've maybe played in?
Yeah, I think one of the best things about being a part of this group is just the fact that really anybody can pop with anything that Kennedy wants to call. We can do all that. That's not really something that you really get everywhere else. I feel like as a group, I feel like as a group that we're really versatile, and we take pride in being as versatile as we are, whether it's running the ball, being part of the pass game, and blocking. Being a part of all three phases is super important as a running back.
Joby, their coaching staff felt like watching you guys on film, this offense has really developed and improved as the year's gone on. How have you seen the unit maybe come together or just improve as the season's gone on?
Yeah, I feel like we're a lot closer kind of than we were as far as in comparison to last year. The knit that we have as a group is second to none. I really love being a part of it. It's something that you can't really. It's really indescribable, honestly. Just being able to, again, be a part of it is awesome, and it's not really something you get everywhere else. And I think that's an important thing to know, and that's kind of goes back to your question, as far as wanting to go in the transfer portal for not even for myself but for other guys. You may want to leave for a certain reason, but you may not get at your next school what you got here. So.
They also felt like they played well defensively in the first quarter and that you guys just kind of kept hitting them. Their coach described it as jab after jab after jab. Did you sense them, wearing down or breaking even later in the game?
Yeah, pretty early, honestly. We're a team that takes pride in wanting to dominate for 60 minutes or however long it takes to win a ball game. And, wanting to punch them in the mouth, early and often is one of the key points that Chez always, harps on.
I'm curious, in a game like this where it's a rival, it's another Sun Belt team, when you're on the sideline and you're watching your defense do what it's doing through, the starters at least through three quarters, and then even the guys that are more often backups, how much energy does that even give you guys on offense?
Man, this defense is, I will honestly say, the best defense I've ever been a part of, being on the same team. So just kind of knowing that, anytime the defense is on the field, they're going to do their jobs, 10 times out of 10. And just knowing that, whatever happened with us, the defense is going to give us the ball back, and we're going to do what we need to do. These guys are electric. These guys, are, you watch the tape, they fly around to the ball every play. Again, that's something that Chesney harps on quite a bit, for the defense. And again, just knowing that we're going to get the ball back fairly soon is it's awesome.
App State got the interception against you guys, and then, only a few plays later, you came up with your own. What were you seeing in the development of that play that you pretty much just ended up right at the right spot to grab it?
A lot of film study. That's all it is. Seeing the tight end come out, I just shot my shot because I trust the guys behind me to do their job, so I just went ahead and tried to make a game-changing play for my team.
I know we've talked about it all year of how good this defense is, but you guys are going into the fourth quarter, and I'm not sure if you had seen the stat, but App State had 29 yards of total offense. You guys had pretty much been all over them. How much was what you saw on film part of you guys being able to capitalize off that?
A whole lot. That's every week. Our team and our defense put a whole lot of film study in, and for us to just go out there and see the same things and communicate it, that just lets our defense play a whole lot faster. And not just the ones, but the twos that came in the fourth quarter and did the same job that we did.
It's been a couple times in your career that you've picked off screen passes like that. Are there certain tells that you can maybe tell from a receiver who's about to block or a QB who's about to dump it off?
Yeah, just demeanor, and then watching film, just knowing that they're set and what they run those screens out of. That's all it is.
And what kind of allows this defense to stay so motivated week through week, and how do you guys keep you guys self-motivated throughout the week during practice?
We know we're not as good as we can be, so we're always trying to improve and be better than we was last week. We're always trying to, Coach Hitt says, improve the brand, enhance the brand. That's all we're trying to do.
You guys chatter much about the possibility of a shutout as the game was getting late there?
Yeah, we was, but we knew we all had to keep our mind on right just to finish the game out.
Along that same line of keeping your mind ready, how much do you pay attention to college football playoff standings, the title race in the Sun Belt, all the outside things that you guys can still accomplish?
Yeah, we hear a lot about it, but it's not gonna happen if we don't complete our job for the rest of the season. So we all know as a collective group that we got to keep our head down and stay focused on the main thing. Because if we don't do our job, college football players can be gone in a week.
I know Hayden just asked you a little bit about if there was a tell on that screen pass. Was there anything you saw unfold during the game or just during film prep that kind of stood out as to that maybe led to the success you guys in stopping Swan in the pass game?
Yeah, their sets, they was kind of running the same concepts that we seen on film, and then we just was playing harder. I feel like our defense took an emphasis to play harder because we feel like we took a back seat to Marshall last week. So this year our emphasis was just to play harder and play hard for all 4 quarters.
You know, you were part of this team last year that went down to Boone, and they put up some points. And obviously, it's a different roster now. But how nice does it feel to be able to defend the home turf after you've been a part of some of these losses to App State and kind of to do it in the way that you guys did?
Yeah, it felt great. My whole time being here, I haven't beat App State. So coming in this game and coming in as a whole defense, we came in this game with a chip on our shoulder. Because last year they were throwing snowballs at us, so we felt like they wasn't taking us serious. And then today they came in and just sat on our logo before the game. So we came into this game with a big chip on our shoulder, and I feel like we showed that chip today, and we shut them out how we did.
I mean, I know they asked you about staying motivated throughout the week, but when you look at what this defense is producing right now, how much better do you think this group can even get?
We can get a whole lot better. We're not even close to where we think we are, so we can get a whole lot better. There's always rooms of improvement. That's why I love the game of football, because you always can get better at something small.
What kind of message do you think you all sent to the college football world today with this performance?
That we are coming. We're not going to slow down for anybody. We got our mind made up, and we know what type of goals we're trying to get to.
We've talked to multiple guys on defense, Coach Chesney, Coach Hitchler, just about this team's ability to come out in the second half, and like we were just talking about, negative 11 yards in the third quarter. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you guys are able to come out so strong to start the second half.
Well, first I'd like to give thanks to God who put me in this position. Without him, I'll be nothing. And I feel like it's just a dog mentality that this whole defense has. Coach Hitch, I see him every day. He's prepared. Every single day we come prepared. We practice really hard. Our scout team gives a great look every single week. So it's just like it's a no-quit mentality no matter if we're up or down, Whatever the scoreboard says, we're still going to go hard. So, yes, sir.
Obviously, you always want to get home to the quarterback,
Yeah.
but was it maybe emphasized any different this week because it clearly worked in the pressure caused him to go, I think, 8 of 28 or 8 of 29?
Definitely this week. We could definitely pin our ears back and go rush this week. We knew they had a good passing game, a good quarterback, so we just had to go back there and go out there and just hunt. Like Coach said this whole week, just hunt. So it definitely was an emphasis this week. Pull out your best pass rush move and go ahead and win. So it definitely was.
DJ was talking to us earlier that one of the things that really helps you guys as a defense is that you're continuously looking to get better and improve on any little detail. When you look at this defense as a whole, where do you think you guys can still even get to, and how much room to grow do you guys have left?
I think we have plenty of room to grow. I think you saw that today. I feel like we haven't even touched what we are capable of. These last couple games we probably went down a little bit, but we stayed the course. We got the job done. So I feel like that's just a testament of what kind of people we have on our football team, what kind of men we are. We never give up. I just feel like we just got a great group of guys, great coach heading us, and we just come to work every single day. We come back tomorrow. We're going to watch the film. Even though we won by a lot, we still got a lot to work on. So it's just a constant just getting better mentality.
Last week Marshall was able to put up some yards, and so to turn around and have this kind of statement performance, how much energy and kind of confidence boost does it give you guys as you head into this next game against Washington State?
I feel like it definitely did give us a confidence boost. This is a big rivalry game. App State with JMU always was a great game. I feel like this definitely helped us put us back on the brand. Like Coach Hitch always says, like, enhance the brand. We definitely got back to the brand of football we were playing. But I feel like this is a great defense, a great team, and I feel like this is great.
You've been in here hearing us Coach talk about improving every single week. Where have you seen this defense improve, kind of week to week? Where has been the most improvement you would say?
I feel like we've improved on just everybody up front getting after it, really. The dudes behind us getting after it. I feel like it's just these last couple weeks we really had to look inside and see who we really are, We definitely got challenged, but Coach says there's peaks and valleys within the game and how you going to respond to it, you feel me? It's we just had to keep going. We had to look inside and just be like, who are we really? Like, we going to give up or we going to keep going? So that's basically what we just had to go to.
What do you like about being coached from Coach Daniels, Sam Daniels?
Oh, I love Coach Daniels. That's my guy. I love Coach Daniels. I mean, his name on the wall right there, 2-time All-American. I mean, I don't know, that's just a great guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's put dudes in the league. Like, he's he has the energy. Like, he played ball, so he played ball at a high level. So it's like I'm talking to a player. Like, he's just a great dude. Him and Coach Ook, like, he's just something about him, man. I love that guy truly, man. I die for him for real. Yes, sir.
Since he comes from the program, is he able to kind of provide like maybe a different perspective that some of the other coaches have?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like sometimes he'll start off with what happened back in 2007, what happened back in 2006 when he was playing. So it's just like if you got a coach that played here and got his name on the wall, two-time All-American, like it's just like I'm gonna be better than that. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just a constant just trying to prove who I am because he knows what he's talking about. So.
Just to kind of nip this part in the bud, do you feel like there's an understanding within the locker room that you have to get better every single week to compete, to make yourself stand out in the G5? There really are no instances of where you can look weak at any time and point of the season. Do you feel like there's an understanding in the locker room that you guys have to continually to improve if your name's going to be on in the bracket at the end of the season?
Definitely. I feel like even if our name wasn't in the bracket, we still go hard. It's just a mentality that we have. It's just a culture that we have at JMU. It's just great. For sure, definitely. Yeah, we do have to prove ourselves. We do have to go out there every day and practice and just stay even more like that because we have a chance to do something that no other JMU team has done. So, yeah.
What message do you think you guys sent to the rest of the college football world today with this performance?
I feel like we sent a message that we're ready, that we can compete at a high level against a lot of different people, and I feel like that JMU can be put on the map. So.
When you were talking about Coach Daniels, you also mentioned Ook. The two of them, we see them at practice all the time. They're high energy guys, and talking often, yelling often. How much does that kind of energy help you guys even perform as a defensive line to kind of get amped up?
Yeah, that energy. I feel like that energy is already there in our D-line room. Like, there's so many guys that just have a passion for the game. But when you got two coaches that out there just going out and just giving it they all, like, you just want to go out there and just play for them even harder. It's just an amazing thing to see them guys every day. They work so hard. They in the office all day. You can go in there and talk to them about anything, life, football, whatever. They're just amazing dudes, like great men. Like they're leaders of men. It's just a great feeling to be in that room and just being led by great men. So it's just great.